Woohoo! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are just in a holding pattern right now. We're going to get started our show promptly at 7 p.m. This is the voice of Sam Weller. You are going to be tuning in to Tier Listing with Sarah Brown, Reed Seitz, and me, Sam Weller. We're ranking the best anime rides. That means forms of transportation, whether that be creature, technological, or otherwise. Again, we're going to be starting in about 3 minutes. So, enjoy yourselves. Maybe I should have some pre-show music. That's coming in just a moment. What? That must be an ad or something. I'm putting on pre-show music, Sarah. I'm doing that right now. Do.
Okay. Is our audio live?
Yes, our audio is live.
Okay, no secrets.
Hold it. No secrets. 0 secrets can be said. I'm just going to put on some audio at the moment.
You said 0 secrets? What about my secret that I'm secretly a cat?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Guess the cat's out of the bag then.
Meow.
Here, wait. We gotta... There we go. There we go. We got some pre-show music going. This is a nice YouTube audio library track. OSA Dress Code by Squatta B.
Ooh.
I feel like I'm on NPR right now where it's like, morning becomes eclectic.
Well, you gotta love it when it's that nice soothing beat.
Very soothed, such beat.
Such beat. I mean, I can't be the only one who's gotten into lo-fi just playing in the background these days.
Lo-fi beats to kill and study to. Absolutely. My constant companion.
I feel like I'm already in an anime ride. I'm going to check in on our host channel for the evening, Pack Theater. Again, we are still accepting donations to Pack-Theater. It's classes, it's online, it's nationwide, it's worldwide. Go to packtheater.com. Find some digital comedy classes. For honestly, the rates that they're offering, and the value that they provide, extraordinary.
Beat it.
Extraordinary.
It's always a fun time.
Yeah, it still says Apex Legends.
Oh no! You have to.
I'm gonna
You have to work.
I'm gonna change
It's in the Twitch. It's in the Twitch channel.
Oh, it is?
It's like in one of those little. Yeah, you have to go to your Twitch channel area.
Alright, well,
the
I'm
Twitch.
gonna do that right now.
Go for it. We're always playing Apex Legends here at Super Dating Simulator because we are the Apex Legends.
And now.
Alright, yeah, it
People
says
ask-
Apex in there. I'm definitely changing this. Edit stream info. Not
People ask me
Apex
to read it.
Legends, okay. Boom. Alright, we've released
Perfect.
it. We are now tier listing anime ride.
Perfect.
Ladies, gentlemen, and anyone else, we are here. People, friends of Super Dating Simulator.
Countrymen?
Countrymen? Romans? Do Romans still exist?
I mean, they might be Romans.
Okay.
If anyone
Actually,
knows
that was
that
perfect.
band.
That was a literal perfect fade out. that hopefully I don't ruin. Welcome to Tier Listing with the creative squad behind Super Dating Simulator. I'm Sam Weller.
I'm Reed Seitz.
And I'm Sarah Brown.
Excellent. Well, you know what? Honestly, with that lead-in music, it feels kind of chill for a tier listing. Usually, we're ready to just rip into each other, but now
we're trying to keep everything as placid and calm as we can before the feathers start flying.
And the good news is because of our court-appointed officials, we can't make the official voices anymore. The audience has to help us. So this way, we don't hurt each other anymore.
Absolutely. In order to preserve our friendship, we have decided that instead of fighting amongst each other, we are going to give it to the audience, to all of you, to decide which tier each of these categories goes in.
Excellent.
Or each of these anime rides goes in.
Yeah.
Now we maybe need to open with this. We got an overview for the show tonight. We're going to be tier listing these anime rides, which we're going to get into in a moment. But also, Reed, you have been watching Neon Genesis Evangelion, as you've mentioned on our social feed, on our IG, at Super Dating Simulator. So you're going to regale us with some impressions of what you've watched so far.
Yes, I am. I'm nervous. I said that we weren't going to hurt each other, but this might be the start of how you and Sarah might hurt me because of my opinions of the show. We'll find out. Am I being timed? Am I being timed on this? That's the important question.
Oh, yeah. In the interest of keeping things moving, fun, fresh, and flirty, what, you think you could get all your feelings out in 2 minutes?
You know what? I could. And then y'all have 2 minutes to say your feelings about my feelings. React to the reaction.
Wow.
All right, let me know, almighty timekeeper, when my time begins.
This is giving me Hyper Crush flashbacks. Reed Seitz, you have 2 minutes to hurt my feelings about Neon Genesis Evangelion. Your time starts now.
Okay, so I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion. I can't say the name. That's my one thing. I keep not saying the name. Make a counter in my life of how many times I frigged up the name of Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's my 2 minutes right there. It's actually really fun. The one thing I really like about the show is they definitely start slow, but then fast in the first episode. You have this moment of, by the way, spoilers for episode possibly 1 through 8. Heads up. You have just a world that's completely forked. You have this nice little boy, and he's just kind of going about, and then you're like, okay, it's slow. We're very much an apocalyptic, and then bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle, get in the robot, go do the thing, and then he completely blanks, which I'm like, all right, this is a kid I can get behind. He's like me. He'd shit his pants if had to fight an alien. I like this. But then we hit kind of an area where I'm a little upset about, which I'm realizing this is a natural Neon Genesis Evangelion, I said it again, sort of thing, is that there's a point where I wish Shinji would ask questions and he doesn't. Like, why are they 14? Why they gotta be 14-year-olds? Because here's the thing. There are shows where you can have your protagonist not ask questions. That's perfectly fine. But that is when they're already accustomed to the world. The goldfish theory, as it will. If they were a goldfish already in the water, for example, I've been living in my life for 27 seasons. There's certain things I don't think to ask questions about. Like, why is the sky blue? Why is Earth brown? That sort of things like that. Shinji has been thrusted into this new world. Everything's new. We're on the same plateau, he and I. And why is he not asking the questions I want? Why is he not doing that? The machine's super freaking cool. Enjoy that very much. Enjoying the characters. Enjoy the people. I'm blanking on her name, but she's the captain. Badass motherfucker. Masato, thank you. She's also
Wait, did we just summon her through a mirror or something?
God, I wish.
Yeah. She is also sus as fuck. I love her, but she's sus. And I think just feminist icon goals. There, I said it. That being said, really fun show. We're getting to kind of we're about to hit a beach episode area, which I don't know how to feel about. That's it. I just said where I'm at. I feel like we're about to hit a beach episode. I'm like, this is weird because we're at the world's, but now it feels like we're about to go to a beach.
Okay, Sam, do you and I have to share our 2 minutes?
Yes.
I think we do, but Sarah, since you are the, let's say, most popular Ava fan here, being involved in
most annoying
viral sensation with Mega 64, go seek that out. I think you should lead off.
Okay. So first of all, so excited that you're finally watching it. Can't wait to share it with you. Second of all, like the frustration that you're feeling is, I think, something that is really successful about the show, because it's so funny that you mentioned this goldfish theory, but it's like Shinji has been raised basically in an isolation tank. He mentions kind of passively that like he's been being raised by like a teacher from school. Like he doesn't really have any friends. His mom is out of the picture. His dad is out of the picture. So like the fact that his first introduction to his dad is this like insane boiling pot of water of like, by the way, we're this paramilitary agency and we're expecting you to fight. And that he like starts to ask questions, doesn't get anything. And he's like, no, I'm just going to run away. Like, that's what makes Shinji so interesting to me, is that he's kind of like Hamlet, where Hamlet, we get really frustrated because he like doesn't do anything. He just kind of whines and complains about his circumstance. That's a big thing for Shinji throughout the entire show. And also same thing with Masato. What I love about the Eva characters is that really none of them are 100% like good. Like everybody has kind of some moral gray areas. And that's one of the things where like Masato is one of my favorite fictional characters ever, but she's also like probably straight up a war criminal. And like also like the way that she interacts with Shinji is like not appropriate. But we can talk about it more later. But there's like tons of projection issues, and it's like if she was a man, she'd be in jail, but whatever. Sam, do you want to go?
I would just say that I view it a little bit historically. I mean, I think part of the immaturity of that show, you know, as far as its characters, is because we are viewing it through the lens of Shinji, who is an immature 14-year-old going through a lot of emotional changes. And it's mainly remembered for, you know, some of the later elements, which, Reed, I can't wait for you to get into. If you have questions,
it's going to be
now,
a time.
You will have big questions later. But it is historically viewed as like this break in the robot genre. You know, like the adventures that they go on are still super robot adventures, but the twist is that we're really going to get exposed, literally and figuratively, to a lot of trauma from everybody, why they're there and what they're there for. So you will get questions answered, Reed, but maybe not the answers that you want.
Well, that just makes me more frustrated. What am I watching? Lost?
I'm actually watching Lost for the first time right now.
Next 5 minutes, tell us about Lost.
Where's the Venn
Island.
diagram of Ava to Lost fans?
The Voltron, as mentioned by Dom Party.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Dom Party has said that Evangelion is this a sequel to Voltron? Yes, it is.
Yeah. Dom, I do wish you were an Ava fan. I just feel like that would just bring so much meaning to my life, but I respect that you are not.
Well, we got to get going on the road to the ride. And
The Road to El Dorado?
Love that movie.
We should have put that horse in here.
Yeah, we're bereft of horses on this list. I mean, again,
I got a giant cat in there.
I tried to think of a notable anime horse and came up short. I'm sure somebody in the comments will have one.
Yakul from Princess Mononoke. He's not a horse, but he's like a deer mount.
He's a deer. Yeah. But he's not here, so he doesn't get judged. He gets to live free from judgment off in the wilderness. Good for him. It's not a good thing to be on these tier lists. Everyone judges you. I'm just saying. Welcome to the Ava program, where we're going to judge you and make you face traumas and also bathe you in fluid and ruin your camera.
You make us sound so cruel. All right. I want to make sure, Reed, what are our 6 rides that we're ranking on this limited, but I think indicative tier list?
It is limited, but it is very much indicative and important. So each of us came forward and presented our own rides, things that were like, you know, I feel comfortable having this come and be showed. My question is, do we want us to say who put what up to the slaughterhouse?
Of course.
Okay. So
or no, Sarah, unless you say otherwise.
No, of course not. No.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So for the ones that we're talking about in depth, we are later going to have a lightning round because our audience showed up a lot of choices. So for the ones that we're going to be talking about in depth, my choices, of course, were Albert from the Owl House, the lovable owl staff, and Kirara from Inuyasha, who is a demon cat. We'll discuss more later. Sarah, I believe you are coming in with Eva Unit 1 from Neon Genesis Evangelion. Didn't say it, but I'll try again next time.
You got it.
It slurred in the middle. Along with Howl's Castle from Howl's Moving Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sam, you're coming in with ones that I know actually very little about. So correct me on the name of, I believe it's from Redline, JP Trans Am from Redline.
Yeah, JP is the driver, so it's his custom Trans Am.
I feel silly.
Not as silly as I do, because I thought Redline was the name of the car.
I knew Redline was an anime. And then Aloha Oi from Space Dandy, which I kept seeing as Space Daddy. That just says more about me than it does about Sam.
I'm also in search of a space daddy. We but yeah, I'm excited. I think this is gonna be great. I love that, Sarah, you thought that it was the car was named Redline, like the way a grandparent is like Super Mario. Are you playing that Super Mario again? But it's
Yes.
just any Nintendo game.
Are you winning, son? Yes, that's me.
Are you winning,
Yes.
son? But it's Shinji. Shinji's in the room.
Yes.
Oh gosh, no, he's not winning. He's never winning. But all right, I would love to hear a breakdown of your guys' rides. Why did you bring them here? What tier do you think they deserve to be in? But no, it's for the audience to decide what tier your person is in. I would love to start. We're gonna go back and forth if that's okay, and then I'll jump in myself. Sarah, please choose one of your rides. Give us a rundown of what it is. Know that you give us a little blurb, a little example, a little flavor.
For sure. So I'm going to start with Unit 1 because it's my background. It's from Ava, which, if you haven't gleaned by now, is probably my favorite. So Unit 1 is this guy. It's a big robot. It's a mech robot, which means there's a human pilot inside it that dictates its movements. They're very, very big. They're like skyscraper big. They're humanoid. And they are used to fight the angels. I don't want to go into too much crazy detail since Rita's still
I
watching
accept
the show.
spoilers. I accept them for the sake of
Okay.
your ride getting to S tier if you need it to be.
I'll bring out the spoilers if I feel the need to, but more or less it's a mech robot that is piloted by the main character Shinji Ikari.
Sam, please tell me about this Aloha Oi from Space Dandy.
Okay, so the Aloha Oe is a critical ship in the TV show Space Dandy, in that it is like the ultimate flying bachelor pad for this like cat alien, this dandy guy in space, and their robot butler slash helper slash best friend, and it has like in every different room, it's like it's either kind of like his tiki theme because it's kind of this laid back, cool place. It's like a hang, but also its engine got messed up, so it can kind of trip the rift apparently through different dimensions. So
Got that good speed.
yeah, so for being chill and functional, the Aloha Oe is where it's at.
All right. I'll hop in with one of mine. I'm going to change my background really quick. This is Albert from the Owl House. He is a palisman and a magical witch's staff. He can carry up to 3 people. Also, he's a little friend and a companion who you can talk to and he can say his little opinions. The best method of travel for the Boiling Isles, which is a giant titan that is deceased. That is my quick blurb about Albert. A very lovable palisman, a very nice witch's staff, good maneuverability, good handling. There's very few places you can't go on Albert.
Reed, I'm going to interject quickly and just ask, why is this not an anime?
You didn't say I couldn't, Sam, so now it's already here.
See,
You had the pass go, but
There's
you didn't
no
take
rule
it.
that says a dog can't play baseball.
Thank you.
I was putting you on the spot because I knew you had the response, and the response was loose rules.
Loose rules, baby. If you're watching it in Japan, does that make it an anime? No, it doesn't. But that's what I wanted in my heart, and it's my birthday month. Next month is my birthday month. I forgot it's not October. September's just October plus. We can all agree.
Wow, harsh on September.
It's nice, but all the Halloween flings are opening early. Thank you, Jonathan Hollis. It is next month. October is my birthday month. Give me a shout out, Sarah. Give me your other choice. Give me a rundown. Make us care.
My other one is the Moving Castle from Howl's Moving Castle, which if you've never seen it, is this huge, lumbering, like almost kind of steampunk looking house on legs that, as the name suggests, moves about from place to place. And inside it has kind of like a witch cottage kind of vibe. It's definitely one of those, it's deceptively small looking on. It's not small, but like it's surprisingly like spacious and roomy inside. It has a magical door that like you can pull it and it changes the color and it opens to different places. So like cool, funky, magic place. But technically a vehicle because it has legs and it moves.
It does have legs and it does move. That is the we're gonna get into later how that technicality is important but we're gonna get into that later.
Ooh.
All I can say is the Rockley fandom knows where I live, and they keep telling me things, and I can't escape them because they know where I sleep.
No.
Yeah, no, you guys don't have that burden. I do. Sam, give me your other choice. Tell me about it. Give me a little blurb.
Yeah, so Redline, sorry. JP's custom Trans Am from the
Its
film.
name is Redline.
and his name is Redline. It's like the most like normal quote unquote of the cars from Redline. Again, Redline, I think we've talked about on these talk shows before that it's essentially like anime wacky races. It's an incredible animation tour de force. But JP is very much like a space for. It's so actually funny because the Aloha Oe is done by a dandy guy in space with a pompadour, and JP also has a giant pompadour. Do I have a type? Answer in the comments. But he has this custom Trans Am that also has like this special like afterburner thing that he can get going on it. What makes it a cool thing is that it's just an overhauled, souped up Trans Am, but it's going up against like all these other nefarious space cars, some of which can transform into like giant robot ladies and are driven by literal man machines. So it's crazy the kind of competition it's up against, and yet it still pulls it out in the end.
That's what she said.
Boo.
I'm sorry. I loved it all the way, and then it still pulls it out in the end. Just
I need to put you in horny jail, Reed. We have to end this stream.
no. I'll be good, I promise. That was my one. Come on, it's my birthday next month.
I'll turn this car around.
That is such a stretch. Oh, nice. Topical.
See, that was my plan. Sam and I planned this ahead of time. It's fine. So, my other ride is Kirara. Just gonna show her off. She is from the anime Inuyasha. She is a demon cat who can both become really large and really small. She can run at very nice speeds and also fly. She becomes a very. I mean, they don't really have a speedometer back in feudal Japan, so I've
never heard
fast.
speed described as being like kind. It's
Yeah,
very nice.
It's high speed wins, very high speeds.
Love it.
She's very quick. She's very fast. She's also very lovable. And she also can kill demons. She definitely also just helps slaughter demons with the crew and the gang. Also, she makes a really cute little mew sound, and that makes me really happy every time. Also, her feet can catch on fire, but no one gets burned, much like Rapidash, except you don't have to befriend her because she's already your friend.
Awesome. Well, I think we have to start getting started somehow. Reed, do you have an idea of how you want to enter into this combat of tier listing? Because my first impression of the spread of the field is that we have places that double as living space as well as ride. We have honestly 2 living creatures on this list as ride.
We do.
Yes.
We do. 2, 3.
Oh yeah. No, 2.
2.5.
Okay, let's get
We'll
into it.
discuss what's alive and what isn't when we cross to what alive and what isn't alive.
Okay. Also, just a quick note for anybody who might not be familiar with tier listing. So you'll notice on the screen that we have letters ranked S through D. So S is the highest rank. It stands for super or superb. I think that might come from Japanese school grading systems, but that's the highest rank it can be. Next is ABC. The lowest that we have right now is D. So top to bottom is going to be best to worst. Yeah.
And what we're going to do is, so now we've given you kind of a taste, a little amuse-bouche of what each ride is. We're going to give more of a proper breakdown of each one, and then a poll will come up in the chat where you can vote what tier list you think it belongs to. So who would like to go first? I can decide as well, unless someone wants to volunteer their ride to go first.
I'm going to go with the Aloha Oe first.
All right.
Nice. Let's do
Sam,
it.
questions from me to help because I want to know. So you've discovered comfort. How's the handling? How's the acceleration? How's the parking?
Okay. You know what? I'm going to be totally real because we're all about realness here.
We're all about being real.
I think that the Aloha Oe handles honestly pretty poorly. I think that
Interesting.
I think that it's like natural in space maneuverability is a little bit challenged. However, it's sort of like in Mario Kart, where it's like some of the
Mhm.
characters have like top speed but poor handling. Like
Mhm.
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 it's
Mhm.
like a Bowser or a Donkey Kong. Like
Okay.
it
Okay.
takes a little while to get warmed up, but once it's going, it's gone, baby, and it's got like the weight to just command a presence. In one of the episodes of the show, it does participate in a literal space race through rings and through galaxies and asteroid fields, and it holds its own all the way through the end, even against like custom souped up machines. So it's I think that's how it handles.
Okay. Okay. And then because do they park in space?
I mean,
That's
in like
important for me.
space in spaceports they park. They don't have to
Yeah.
parallel park in space, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm
Listen,
looking.
I live in LA. If people don't know that, parking is very important to me.
Yeah, so I have not seen Space Dandy, but I'm looking at pictures of this and it's kind of a crazy shape. It kind of looks
Mhm.
like a banana.
Yeah, I
Uh,
just realized that I could have a few more like visual references. Hold on. I'm
I will also pull it up for my background because I am the resident background changer girl.
Nice.
So a closer up picture of the Aloha Oi from Space Dandy.
yeah.
It does have a nice banana, but it is a speedy yellow shape. I just see the song showing up of Aloha Oi, which I find very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
I have it up here on screen now, so people can
Okay.
kind of look at that.
And there's kind of like a pinup girl logo
Mhm,
on
mhm,
it.
Yeah, kind of
Mhm.
classic, like tiki room,
Mhm.
post World War II kind of aesthetic. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I would love to hear our quick opinions before we release it to the chat, if that's all right with you.
Sure.
What tier do you think Aloha Oi goes into?
Looking at our spread, looking at our
Mhm,
our
mhm.
list here, I would say Aloha Oe. In my opinion, I think it's probably right in the middle. I think it's B.
I was also thinking B. It's comfortable, but it also does have trip ups, but it can also handle pretty good. Similar, it feels like an anime Millennium Falcon, which I'm really enjoying.
Like, yeah, like
Um,
Oh
I
yeah.
I
yeah,
think it's
yeah,
just, yeah, I think that's a great way of characterizing it.
yeah.
I also think though the thing that holds it back from being like an iconic anime ride, I don't know if we want to bring
Hmm.
the word iconic yet into this combo,
Always.
is that
Always iconic.
it is a little bit haphazard. It kind of looks like kind of a 1950s sci-fi throwback, with all the points and the big long lines. So it really feels like an outsized Cadillac got hit with the Homer mobile. So
If I would have to agree. Sarah, what is your idea of the tier listing for this? And then we'll release this to the chat about what tier they think it should go to.
Yeah, I think just from my own disadvantage, since I haven't seen Space Dandy, that
Mhm.
like, yeah, I would probably be closer to C than a B, just because
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, it's absolutely a spaceship. And like what I do appreciate, I
it's
appreciate the
absolutely,
tiki,
yeah.
I appreciate the tiki theming. I appreciate like a little bit of kitsch. I appreciate a little bit of camp
Mhm.
in a
Mhm.
spaceship
Mhm.
because I like something that's a little bit different than your traditional, sci-fi theming. So I love that this one has like a really strong personality with
Oh
like a
yeah.
little pinup girl on it, the
Oh yeah.
tiki theming. So I really do appreciate that about it. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, like, okay, like sure, it's a spaceship.
Spaceship. So I think we've said our good pieces. We've done some good things on this first ride, and we're going to release it to the audience, where you're going to be able to put on numbers, I believe 1 through 5, 1 being the highest, 5 being the lowest. Before you vote, something to keep in mind: at most, a tier list can only have 2 rides in it. So keep that in mind. If a tier list has maxed out with 2, they got to go somewhere else. So please put it in the chat. You can see the poll has been posted on right there. 1 for S, 2 for A, 3 for B. You can see it right there. You can read. You're all very smart people.
Yeah.
This is a very strong opener, Sam. Thank you so much for opening up, because I
Absolutely.
think the Aloha Oi is probably one of the most classic, I think, cool anime suite rides. Like if I were to choose a cool ride
I want to
off the top of my
clarify.
head.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So people need to change their letter vote to a number vote for this, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
it's
is
sort of
correct.
like
To be
1
caught
through
to be
5.
caught by our poll. So if you want to vote for as an S tier, you need to type 1 in the chat. A 2, B 3, C 4, D 5. That was harder than it should have been.
It's why I just said they're smart and I cut off, because I am not smart.
Okay. All right.
All right. Sarah convinced me. Also, thank you for saying I love Reed. I really appreciate that. And also, yes, we're very considerate for all these imaginary vehicles and how we're going to ride them. Very important. Okay, so we're probably going to close this poll in about 5 seconds. How's that sound?
That sounds
Sounds good to me.
All right, we got 5. If you haven't voted, do it. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we are sealed. And it looks like the Aloha Oi is coming in at a C.
Okay.
A good
I need to
mid-tier.
close this. I need to close this thing, and it jumped all
Mhm.
around on me. Oh, there it is.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like a C tier. So, thanks, no thanks, audience, for knocking me down. I was trying to be democratic, but you know what? The people have chosen, so it's a C tier.
I'm great at
If-
peer pressure.
If I could be that person, because the poll's already closed, and I'm gonna get some booze. It was a little phallic.
Oh, that's worth bringing up.
That's neither here nor there.
was-
Most
It
rocket
isn't.
ships
I
are
mean,
fat.
Bring it up when the
expressly
vote
said-
ended.
I expressly said it's shaped like a banana.
Yeah. So moving forward, because we only have so much time and so many rides to go through, I will put mine up next if that is all right with everyone. I would like to go Kirara from Inuyasha. So this is indeed a demon fox cat. It can both turn
Yes.
into the larger version and a much cuter, smaller version, which I don't have on hand right now. But imagine an Eevee. Imagine an Eevee. It can turn into Eevee essentially.
Okay.
It can fit up to 3 people on it, which is pretty impressive. And they look like they're very much seated comfortably. And not only can they fly, but they can also run at high speeds, and it's on fire. No big deal. Also, combat maneuverability, pretty aces. Also, she lives long, can hunt for herself, and she's sustainable. You don't need to take this baby to the gas station. She can hunt on her own. Literally, the main character comes and says, "Hey, have you been doing well?" And then she goes, "Meow." So she can take care of herself. That's the good news. Very fuel efficient. Also, you're showing up to the cool speedwagon with all your cool friends, and you're riding a giant demon cat, but oh no, I gotta park. Tiny Eevee. Put her in your purse. Done.
We have some pictures of the tiny Eevee. Kirara is adorable.
Kirara is
I
adorable.
love Kirara so much. Also,
Great question. No, there is no seatbelt. Also, no, you will not get burned. Similar to Rapidash and Pokemon, she doesn't burn the riders.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Kirara so much. I love that she has like her super cute, normal, like cuddly pet form.
Oh yeah.
And then she transforms into this just like badass. Like if I was coming down a dark alley and I saw that demon fox cat,
yeah.
bad time.
Bad times.
Yeah, and I love her bond with Songo. I love that she's like really loyal. She's really dependable. And then yeah, she's as cute and cuddly as a pet, but she's also like incredibly independent and capable. I was really excited to see Kirara in here.
Yeah. Can she burn other things? Great question. Also, carbon emissions. It's feudal Japan. They don't have the technology to check for carbon emissions just yet. Sorry. I don't think she can burn other things. I think the flames are merely aesthetic, but who doesn't want to paint hot rod flames on your car? Now you can just paint them on your cat because she already has them.
Yeah,
and also Kirara
I'm looking
is
at her wiki page, and she has weapons listed as claws and fangs. No fire.
Yeah. She cannot do fire. It's an aesthetic choice.
Just for looks. Sorry, Sam, I cut you off.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say Kirara is also apparently highly marketable. You can buy some plushies of Kirara.
Yeah.
You can even get some shoes, which honestly, like what better mode of transportation? I'm Kirara. I'm shoes and a dog, cat, spirit.
I also own the hat version, but it's somewhere in my closet. However, she can't go into space, as I know some of our other rides can, and I don't think she's technically 1 horsepower. So personally, I'd place her a solid B or A tier, personally. Sarah, what tier you got?
I honestly would put Kirara as S or A tier. Partially because this is tactical and I know that I'm probably not going to get everybody on my side for unit 1 as S tier. But like she is like, so like all the different things that we've talked about is it's just like, so like efficiency and like, oh, like weapons and like maneuverability and like, can you live inside of it for some of them? But, like, so yes, Kirara, but like Kirara like can love you, and there's like a bond and there's loyalty there that like that's a support that like the most advanced spacecraft could not emulate.
I'm honestly probably gonna lean more towards B tier because Kirara is mode of transportation, but I think of Kirara more as character than anime ride. I think that their characterization in the show makes them more of a pet. Yes, you can ride a pet. Like think of it like a mount, I guess, in World of Warcraft or any other video game.
Which I consider a mount a sweet ride.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
I do understand where you're coming from on the technicality of maybe she's not necessarily a ride.
I don't want to get too technical because I know that a lot of people are going to vote with their hearts, and I don't want to discount people's hearts.
But you have swayed my opinion that I'm now leaning more towards probably A or B.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yes, to remind people, because we've got some new viewers coming in. Hi, welcome. At most, there can only be 2 rides per tier. To the point where if there's more than 2 rides in a tier, then unfortunately, we got to cut that tier.
What does she eat? Did we answer that question?
Meat. I believe she eats meat, but she can also hunt on her own. But she's mainly, I believe she eats demons, which in this world, demons are not a good thing. They're very bad.
Well, let's put it up to a vote. Let's get the fans involved here. So this is the start poll for Kirara. You should see it up there, 1 through 5. So in other words, S, A, B, C, D, 1 through 5. Where do you think Kirara ranks? So if you think they rank right in the middle, that's B. If you think they rank near the top, that's S tier. We're just going to see what the audience says. Yeah. I love it.
And please remember to put the numbers, not the letters, because we have a number poll up in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Also, I hate to say it, but we're running a dang it, Dom party with your 69. Get out of here. We might need to start going through these a little quicker. I'm realizing because I'm taking a look at the time.
I think we're doing okay. I think we can.
All right, fair enough.
We can make it work.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
We can do it. All right. And you don't have to pay for the parking lot. Thank you, Axolotl. Question. No, she's an Eevee. She can come with you into the restaurant. Put a little vest on her. She's an emotional support demon.
I think Kirara...
I wish.
Little support. I'm just thinking of what is it? The little fox boy that follows them around. I just think of them like Shippo in like a little valet uniform.
Yeah. You have to let me bring Kirara into Applebee's.
3,
okay,
2,
1, and
we're cutting it.
All right.
Oh,
the folks have spoken.
The first B tier.
B tier. So we are hiding that poll. But we did get a number of votes for S and A. There were some people, I think I saw it in there. They were saying nostalgia. So that's powerful. That's a powerful force.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we had enough. We didn't realize we had a lot of Inuyasha fans in here. I feel very seen.
All right, where are we going next, Reed?
We're going, Sarah. It is up to you. Please choose your vehicle, choose your mount, and defend it.
I think as long as we're talking about what is a vehicle, really, let's do the moving castle. Let's do Hal's moving castle.
Hal's moving castle. I'll see if I'm going to pull that video up for my background as well. Give me a moment.
Yes.
But please start.
Yeah. So what I like about the moving castle is it's like, obviously it's not going to be as flashy as, like I was saying, it's kind of like almost like a steampunk looking thing. It's kind of giving you Baba Yaga, House on Chicken Legs with its weird little spindly legs. I like that it looks so assembled from different things. It's fueled, speaking of demons, by Calcifer. Is he technically a fire demon?
He's a fire demon, but also important in a consensual way. I mean, like he's fine. He's not being tortured. There's a lot of shows that where it's like the demon's torture. It's like, no, he's a little
Calcifer. Yeah, he gets cranky with Hell, but ultimately they made a pact for him to be there. So I just love the moving castle. I think it's so fun and whimsical. My favorite thing in any movie is a let's fix up this place montage. And in Hal's Moving Castle, when Sophie moves in, there's like cobwebs and it's not very nice. And she gets it all clean and organized and it's beautiful inside. So it's like, it would be like a comfortable place to live. Like in battle, it probably would not be very helpful, but it would be an excellent way. If I was going to travel the world in any of these, I would pick to do so in the moving castle.
Important note, I think that's really important because you mentioned it before. My first thought is parking. You can't park this anywhere, but here's the loophole. This baby's parked everywhere. You can decide if you have a house, you can do some magic, draw some socks, draw some circles, get your magical boyfriend to do it, and then you twist the doorknob, and then boom, now you're walking out into Times Square of New York. You know it's impossible to park in Times Square in New York, but this house pulls it off. It is the parking lot.
When
I just have to put that out there.
I also love in the chat. It's awesome and mythical, and also kind of janky. And somebody else said DIY, and yes, that's what I love about it. It is
It's very
like
janky.
it has this like insane like multiverse kind of abilities where it's like I think I mentioned earlier that like you like ring the doorbell by the door and it changes where the front door opens to different lands and different portals, and like that's so cool. And it also looks like you put it together with refuse from the Michael's Craft section.
This is a ride with everything in my mind. It's got personality, it's got looks, it's just this beautiful thing. And I think as far as like it being a ride, like it crawls, it moves, and near the end of the film when it seems to be, oh no, all hope is lost and it's reduced to whatever, it keeps going. This thing is like the Honda Civic of fantasy like transport. It doesn't stop going. As long as Calcifer, as long as there's a little flame to drive this thing, it's gonna get you there. It's gonna serve you right.
It's hardy.
Yeah.
Also, to answer someone's question, so it comes with a boyfriend. Technically, yes. I think it technically does come with a boyfriend.
If the moving castle comes with Howl inside, that's gonna be an easy S tier.
It's Howl's moving castle.
If Howl is included, then absolutely.
I mean, he's like your really nice mechanic. Miles to the
Howl's
Gallon
never done a day of mechanical work in his life.
Oh yeah,
he fixes the house.
Hal would get worried that his hair would be ruined, or that he'd get a spot on his nice jacket. Or I love. All right, sorry. I love Hal.
It was Howl's Moving Castle.
He's such a good person, but his critical flaw being so vain and so arrogant is great. But it's like the guy with the heart. This isn't about him. He's my favorite anime, right?
Pew, 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 pew.
Listen, that's where we're getting to Rock Lee. That's later. That's later. Okay. But sorry, that was supposed to be like a fun joke, but I realized it came off as a dismissive sentence.
Yeah,
wasn't necessary.
All right, I think the chat's really excited about this one. Everyone loves the Honda Civic. I think we can toss this to the vote. So,
let's do it.
Or I guess where do you guys think the moving castle should go on this chart?
I think I have to put it in C tier, mainly on the technicality of it being a ride on certain levels, because it can move around, but it is a bit slow. If we're talking about mainly the house itself, it's a bit on the slow side. So I'd go for C. It's hard for me to put anything in D, but if I had to, I might. There's two rides here that I can see being in D category. That's my thoughts.
There's only one spot for this castle, and that's S tier.
Nice. Yeah, I think. Let's see. Where did we end up with Kirara? Did Kirara end up as B?
Kirara got B tier.
Okay, then I think either B or A for this, just because like while I appreciate the lack of like well I mean like I appreciate like the lack of what's the word I'm looking for, like how effective it is necessarily as a vehicle where it's like, yeah, if you were chasing a bad guy, this might not be a best option, but like the whimsy factor, the sustainability factor.
The
whimsy factor. It's literally made of recycled parts.
Yeah, I'm going A. I'm going A for the moving castle. Because like I said, it's the one I would want to spend the most time in.
Fair enough. All right, we're starting the poll now. Howl's Moving Castle? 1 through 5, rank it. S through D.
Yeah. Number 1, the very best. Number 5, the very worst.
There we go.
But again, it's not up to us; it's up to the audience. Unless, of course, the audience does not calculate and tries to put too many in one tier. Then it is up to us to decide.
Yeah,
it seems vulnerable, but maybe magic protects. That's a very good point to bring up, Takarani. It is actually, I would say it doesn't have any big magical protection. It's protected because it lives up in the mountains mainly.
Sarah,
I see you voting.
Yeah,
VBG,
you never said I couldn't.
Number 1. Yeah, if you want to do number 1, Sarah.
Yes, I am voting in my own elections. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I think the idea of the moving castle is that like it's more of a defensive whole, and then the assumption is that Howl and Sophie can defend it with their magic.
Yeah. So you also get a girlfriend also in this castle.
This is true. There's a whole little family in there.
There's a whole you can't kick out the previous tenants, I guess is the rule.
Howl's Moving Castle is protected by COVID tenant rights. Let's go, baby.
The eviction moratorium extends to the moving castle.
Oh.
And to be honest, there's a lot of and this is my PSA. There's a lot of things that we can do for all of our housed and unhoused neighbors in Los Angeles and across the country.
Of course.
So stay aware of those things because there's a lot of things you can do to prevent landlords from kicking people out when the COVID restrictions expire. So do your own Googling, but I just want to throw that in there because I think
services, not sweeps.
Exactly. We're all about love here. And I love that we got to services, not sweeps from Howl's Moving Castle. I fucking love it.
Dang straight we did. Also, shout out to Floorman Gamer saying it's one of those SUVs with a gaming system with like a cooler and a living room in the back. That is
some
accurate.
bold MFer just put this thing in C tier, and I don't want to.
They're allowed. We said the audience gets to vote.
It's true. I think we've kind of at a standstill between S and A, and I think this is where we have to cut it unless someone's gonna sneak in. Not you, Sarah.
Yeah, and 3, 2, 1, and. All right, we got a dead tie for S and A tier, and we have one vote for C tier. What do we do?
Do we flip? Well, this is when the council decides, and I feel like okay, Sam, Sarah, what are your votes? Because between S and A, this is what the audiences decide, but they could not decide.
I did S, and I think I don't want to. I mean, Sarah said A. Sarah,
no.
Well, Reed, what did you say?
I was the motherfucker who voted C.
Well, then I feel like the answer has to be Reed C. Reed C cancels out Sam's S, so the answer becomes A.
A, yes. Also, Florida Man Gamer just swung in with a 2, a little late on the clock, but A tier is for Howl's Moving Castle.
All right, A tier for Howl's Moving Castle. I feel like there was some shenanigans involved with this, but I'll accept it. I'll accept it. All right. I guess I go next?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this thing. So, JP's Trans Am. I feel like Char Aznable before Redline. I have to build my case. So here's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
When you're building a model kit, when you're building like any kind of passion project, if you're a miniature builder, if you're a crafter, if you're I'm gonna bring up JP's Trans Am. We're gonna do this. JP's.
Is that?
I mean, I got it right here.
Is that what Reed's got?
Yeah, that's what I got.
No, Reed's got it. I have another thing that I can pull up.
Okay.
So people can see it in the Google search. So there you go.
Okay.
So when you have a project that you've worked your whole life on, I mean, JP's Trans Am not only represents like his dedication to racing, but it also represents friendship. Because he made it with his best friend who was a mechanic, somebody that fell on hard times, somebody that got JP into a lot of trouble. But JP stuck by his friend. JP said, you know what? No matter what happens between the two of us, we have the race. We have this car. You're the designer. You're the engineer. I'm the driver. And we're going to make this happen. And what I love about that is that it goes up against cars that can go on water, cars that can fly through the air, cars that can transform. JP goes, I don't need that. All I need is the need for speed. And that's what this car represents. It strikes this gorgeous golden streak across the opening race to the Redline final, and it's one of the most impressive, incredible things. And similar to Howl's Moving Castle, actually, it has this wherewithal that it survives so much damage and yet is able, with the power of love at the end of the film, with JP to inject it, nitro fuel it, to get across the finish line and essentially reach Nirvana. So from classic American design to a intergalactic space race, JP's Trans Am, you can't beat it.
Important question, because it is anime. Is it actually friendship that fuels it, or is it actually nitro that fuels it at the end?
Like anime, it is ambiguous at best.
Gotcha. It's important. It's anime. I don't know. Did he pull a Luke Skywalker? Did it actually just have this extra canister of fuel that his friend
found? It's JP and oh my gosh, and Sonoshi, yeah, at the end of the race.
And his friend.
See, because they love each other. See, they're sharing
Yeah.
a smooch in this GIF, and that smooch, and then they inject their love into this car. It's very sweet, and then they win the race together. It's unifying, guys. This car brought love. It's like Grease, but better.
No!
Yes, the flying car was the most important part of Greece.
It was. They are cute. They are cute.
Yes,
But Sam, can this car go on water?
no.
Yeah.
You said it could beat cars that could go on water, but can
I
this
hate
car
to-
go on water?
I hate to say it, but my main question is, but it's a car, right?
Like,
Yeah,
what,
but it's
tell us
like
about
the
this car.
best
You
car.
can't. It's sure, absolutely. I bet. I
Yeah, it's
agree.
a nice
I bet
car.
it is.
It looks
But,
like
like-
Bumblebee, which points for me.
But you can't live in it.
You
It
can live in
can't-
a car.
You
I know
can
what you're
live in the
saying.
car, but
But can you be comfortable? No.
Can the
Yeah.
car love? Can the car love you? Can the car? I'm sorry. I know you mentioned that it's got like all these like modifications on
Yeah.
it, but like not really weapons, right? It's more of just, or is it kind of weapons?
it is a nice traditional, like, yeah, does it have any
It
weapons?
doesn't have any weapons. See, that's the thing. This Trans Am is built purely for speed, purely for the
Okay.
spirit of the race. It doesn't
Okay.
need any of that stuff, guys.
We
it's
have some
pure.
important questions coming in from chat, actually. What kind of gas? Leather interior?
Leather interior.
Does it have leather interior?
leather interior? I'm assuming. You know what? I guess I'm shooting myself in the foot, but I guess
What's the mileage? Yeah.
I guess
Yeah, what's the mileage
the
on this?
mileage when you overclock the engine like this, the mileage. I mean, this thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? It also runs on what I can assume is space fuel. So it doesn't. We don't
Oh!
work on this kind of like carbon-based model,
Mhm.
guys. It's a modified.
Okay.
Trans Am.
Okay.
Yeah,
To answer Takara Nee, I don't think there's gonna be an air conditioner or seat warmers because this baby
It
is
does have
speed.
AC. It's
Oh,
got
oh.
AC.
I just made an assumption because you're like, no, it doesn't have it. It's focused on speed. Do the NASCAR race cars have air conditioning? I need to know this. I'm gonna have to Google it later because I feel like they wouldn't.
must.
They don't have 3 other seats. They only have the 1 seat, so I'm assuming that's
But
a
it's
no.
gonna get so hot in there, and they can't roll the
But-
windows down.
That's too bad. You're in
Friendship-
Georgia. Time to
I
win the
know
room
nothing
room
about-
race.
I
Dom
know-
Party says friendship can go on water, so yes, the car can go on water.
Okay.
No.
I
doesn't-
appreciate in my heart, I'm gonna say in my heart, the argument was an S tier.
Yes,
But
did a
the
great
car
job.
itself
is a car.
it's gonna be a D tier for me, dog.
Me
Alright.
too. And if it makes you feel better, one of the ones I wanted to bring was the bike from Akira. And I think the bike
Mm.
would have ended up in D tier 2 for the same thing of just like fundamentally it is bringing a knife to a gunfight when we're talking about all these anime rides.
I think, when we're talking about the spread, I see what you guys are saying about it. The power escalation.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that in terms of competition, this
No.
all right, well, let's leave it up to the audience. I can't
It-
I can't rank my own thing. In my heart, I know where it stands. But
I mean, Sarah's been putting votes in, so I don't see why you.
No one has told me I couldn't.
Yeah.
again, the
no
rules
one, no.
have screwed us. Okay, let's just put this to a vote.
The rules don't say a dog
Nobody
can't play
knows.
basketball.
Apparently, we hate friends. I mean, I also.
It's not that I hate friendship. I just love being right.
Well,
If we've had
The
history, if
daggers
we
come
could go back
out-
to the VODs, we can prove this. Sarah has been willing to
we
let
have the
both of us kill each
receipts.
other.
The receipts are in the VODs. Let's get this
Yeah.
going.
Let's
okay,
go
the
in.
poll
I am
is-
the heel of Super Dating Simulator. We've been over this.
No, I disagree. Okay, as a reminder to everyone, as you vote, remember
Now who triggered the
each-
wrestling reference?
each
You're welcome.
category. Each
Just
category
to
can
make
only
up
have
for the red line
2.
thing.
So I'm curious to see where this lands. We got some people saying S. It's tied S, C, and D. By the way,
Come on, baby.
which-
Let's do this. Let's do this. Send JP to the S tier.
it's a car with friendship. But I'm gonna say when I'm sitting in it, I wasn't there for the building. I wasn't there for the race. What's in here right now is the Aloha Oi from Space Dandy.
Yes. Also, somebody in the comments mentioned the X-Wing from Cowboy Bebop, which I'm curious. I feel like that probably would have ended up right alongside the Aloha Oi, because when I think of like a space
The
vehicle
banana.
that a quirky group of friends go around in, I feel
Right.
like they would have hit the same notes.
Okay.
Uh,
If Sarah's done voting, I think we could probably.
My vote is in.
5,
Great.
4, 3. Any votes? 2. Any last minute votes? 2, 1. Cut the vote, Sam.
All right. So we had 2 votes for D. We had 1 vote for S. Thank you. I love you forever. And we had C with 3 votes. So that wins the poll.
That wins.
But then that also puts it up against my other.
They're gonna they don't have to fight in C tier. There's room for 2 people on each tier, similar to that horrible Netflix movie that I don't remember the name of and you shouldn't watch. I think it's called The Elevator. It's about a prison where people live on a level and they put down a tray of food for people to eat.
That movie's a big
don't watch it. It's not good. I saw it.
We got 10
you're right,
minutes
you're right,
left
you're right,
in
you're
our
right.
slot. Let's do this.
Oh goodness. Okay.
I'll talk about that movie. The Platform, bad movie. Anyway, continuing. I will put mine next, if that's okay.
And really quick before you start this, we can go overtime on our own Twitch. So even if we are not hosting any longer at the Pack Theater channel, which is understandable, they have a wide range of shows. Please donate at Pack-Theater. Look them up online. They have classes, digital. The value is incredible. Check them out. But
Perfect.
Please donate.
Incredible value.
And we're going to keep going. We're just going to keep going with our show, man.
Love that.
Yeah.
And stick around afterwards because I am going to give these 2 delightful people a quiz to see which anime they should watch next. Feel free to follow along at home, and if you can't, you'll be seeing it on our Instagram.
All right.
But bring it to the present. The ride that I'm going to put up for your judgment and the audience's judgment is Albert from The Owl House, a delightful animated show about witches and magic. So Albert is something called a palisman. They are creatures that are alive and made of magical wood. They screw atop of a staff, and it has a really nice carrying capacity of 3 people. And very great handling, very great maneuverability, can go for miles. Ain't no gas on this baby. It goes forever. Goes forever. Just saying. Also, it's a friend. It's a nice little friend that you can kind of hang out with, and I think that's the bit I want to get. I know we don't got a lot of time, so I'll keep it short, simple, and sweet.
Can it assume different magical forms, Reed? Is it just a
no? Each card it is a staff, actually, not a broom. And the palisman creature is actually attuned to each specific witch. So this is Ida's staff, and she is the owl lady. So she can form to an owl palisman.
Okay, so like the 2 of them are bonded. Nice.
But other people can ride him. It's not like okay, Ida's not here, I'm not gonna be ridden. Because Luce, who is our other plucky protagonist who does not have a staff of her own, can ride it whenever she likes. Because it is indeed carbon neutral, and they're very good friends.
Yeah. How like sentient's not the right word, but like how like communicative.
Very communicative, actually.
Cool, very cool.
It's definitely pulled a Thor's hammer several times where it's like, hey, I need to go somewhere. They hold their hand and it comes to the hand.
Nice.
And then you can go. So parking, put it in your broom closet at home. Take an Uber if you want to.
Carbon neutral.
It'll come to you.
They're saying in the chat.
It is indeed a carbon neutral ship. I'll be honest though. Can you live on it? No, it's a staff. Can you go to space? Unfortunately, no, it's a staff.
What's the name of it? I'm trying to show a picture.
Albert. But
Albert
it can love you.
It can love you. It has opinions. Its feelings can get hurt. Its feelings have been hurt before in the show because people weren't careful with it. Yeah, it's a good listener. Listen, Ida plays card games with this palisman all the time.
That's cute. I want one.
It's very adorable.
They play cards. He has a little visor, a little card shark visor that he plays with. He's delightful. Also, you can screw him off so if you don't feel like carrying, if you want to carry around a little tiny wooden owl, you can.
It's still a staff, so you still have to straddle it or side saddle or hang on with your big ripped anime arms or
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Axel, the question. It's not Horny Monday. Get out of here. Bunk.
Oh.
Yes, you can hit him with like Rafiki. You can also cast spells with him.
Okay. Screw him off.
Suggestion: drive to the castle. I do feel like Albert would fit in very well at Howl's Moving Castle. I feel
Absolutely.
like same whimsy gradient there. Same
Very
There's-
much same with you.
Sarah, this is the stream that launched 1,000 fanfics. Thank you for putting that fan fiction energy out into the world. Give me Owl House X Howls. Make it happen, Disney.
Listen, Owl House X Howls X. Fun side fact: there is a very common fan theory that Ida was Grunkle Stan's first wife from Gravity Falls.
Obsessed. I love that.
It's great. Owl's Moving Castle. Yes. Don't be
Owl's
sorry for
Moving
yelling,
Castle.
Serafina Bauer. You're great.
All right.
On my personal vote, though, this is a great ride. There's also a lot of really other great rides. I can't vote for my own baby. I'm gonna need you guys to vote first,
Yeah,
and then I'll vote. I can't do it. Can't do it.
So I'll go first, Sarah. I think that, again, magic seems to be really hitting high with us, at least in this tribunal. I would see Albert, with the way that the arguments have been made, as like on a B tier, with Kirara being a magical transport, but not as magical as like a Howl's transport. I don't think I could put it on C tier, though, except the one big ding against it is that ultimately it is a staff. It is a singular piece that it's.
But also an owl.
But also, it can fit 3 people.
I hear what you're saying, Sam, though. I like this in the B tier. I think you're right that on the show we tend to like magic more than things like science, and that's fine by me.
over science fiction, like
but
Gundam.
like,
Agreed.
Yeah. Don't worry. We're driving straight towards Mech Corner. Don't worry.
Oh yes, we're hitting that.
Mech Corner.
So, but like, even though I haven't seen the Owl House, like a lot of the things that I love about Kirara, I think are also applicable to Albert, which is like the companionship element, the transformation element, like versatility, the kind of more like natural magic side of it. So yeah, I think this would be a great B tier pick.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to highlight what Takara needs to put in chat as I worry about getting chilly, which I think is a very fair, and I wouldn't worry about chafing. I think that part's fine. Look at them. You wear pants. Don't bare thigh it. Obviously.
Yeah, you gotta come cloaked up if you want to be on Albert. Apparently, let's see what the audience says, shall we?
Yeah. I'm interested to see. Dom Party says if it's bad to be a car, it's even worse to be a staff. And he ain't got a cool haircut. I don't know which he you're referring to, but that's fine.
Well, because JP's got a sweet pompadour.
He does.
That's fair. I don't know. I like her luxurious mane.
Yes.
Ooh, somebody jumping in right away with
somebody
an A tier.
hitting with the A tier. I feel like this is the most across the board I've seen the audience thinking about it with it. I'd be very curious if it stays in A tier. I'm very curious. Okay. Ooh, someone voted D tier. Interesting. That's
Oops.
Not oops, just like ooh. All right. Interesting. Number has to be the number has to be first for it to count. So VBG 657. Please revote for me. Thank you kindly.
I'm glad that Sam is also getting into you can cast your own votes game now that my jig has been so thoroughly up.
Your jig has been very thoroughly up. I can't vote for my own baby. I can't. I'll feel dirty.
Oh man. What does Space Dandy ride? He's got a pompadour. He rides the Alaoa Oe. He also probably wants to ride Redacted.
Don't.
Probably can't say it on this stream.
Don't.
The banana, as the kids would call it.
Well, it would be another passenger on.
Is it a banana or a tuna?
Okay.
We are no longer having this
spam the
conversation.
chat.
What is the vote?
Fair enough. We should hard right turn out of there. Leave me
right.
behind at the
And
Applebee's.
we're closing the poll in 3,
5,
4.
3.
Some combination of numbers.
1, which is my pinky, and Sam, you should be the one counting. I just get really
And we're
addicted to
done.
counting down.
A tier.
Oh,
Nice.
Apparently, Albert, a non-anime, is in the A tier for top anime rides. But you know what? That's just how it goes here.
how it be.
I-
Hey, if anyone comes after us, they can come after me, and then I'll cry because I'm very sensitive. And I'll be like, "Hey, it's almost my birthday.
It's
Leave me
September
alone."
plus.
Right? No, it's October plus right now. Right now, it's October
It's
plus.
pre-October.
It's pre-spook season.
It's also 8:00, so we're officially in overtime. If we get booted from the YouTube, from the dash of the Pack Theater, so be it. But until we are forcibly removed, we are still there, baby.
If you can stick around, that's
You can
great. We
stick
have
around,
one more
stick
official
around
ride.
here.
And then we'll go into the lightning round.
And then we
Yeah.
have our lightning round, which is our audience submissions and Sam and Sarah's faves. I couldn't pick one at the time.
The shade. Who threw shade at whom? Florida Man Gamer's throwing it out.
Oh,
Did I throw
Unclear.
shade?
he wants to ride the thing.
Come on,
Okay.
ride the thing.
So
right.
you already have it as your background, so I shan't
I
change
do.
it. Tell us. Actually, no, I will change it to a different picture because I feel like that's been my thing, and it might give
Perfect.
another perspective. Please. Continue.
Okay, so before I get into this, Reed, have you agreed that it's okay if I have spoilers in this for the episodes of Ava that you have not yet seen?
I consent.
Thank you. If anybody else has not watched the show Neon Genesis Evangelion, which did premiere in 1996, now is your time to leave the chat if you want to remain that spoiler free.
Mhm.
Incredible.
So Unit 1, as I've discussed, it's a robot. So it's a mech robot. So it's a big robot, very tall, human pilot inside that navigates its movements. If we're talking about battle capabilities, it can wield weapons. It has a huge, it can go so fast. It has a huge, leg span, I guess. This thing sprints through city blocks, fights the angels, incredibly capable. It synchronizes with the pilot inside, which is how the pilot can navigate its movements. So if we're talking about battle, this Unit 1 has held its own against countless angels and comes out on top every time. But what sets Unit 1 apart from, or the Avas in general, from other just regular mechs is, spoiler alert, they're not just big robots. The spirit of Shinji's dead mom is inside this robot,
Whoa.
which is why he can pilot it so successfully and is why they're so spiritually linked. And spoiler alert, there comes a point in the show when Shinji is asked to do something. He's asked to attack into Ava in a situation that he views as unethical. And he's like, I won't do it. I'm not going to attack in this situation I think would be wrong. And in a punitive move, his father cuts off his pilot capabilities. He says, you can't, I'm letting this thing run on autopilot. You're out. Doesn't matter. And what happens is that Unit 1 awakens and goes berserk. And I'm going to show you what that looks like.
Is that this?
That is this.
Ah, blood.
So Shinji's mom robot goes sicko mode,
Yeah.
overrides the commands, leaps onto the thing that's attacking Shinji, tears it apart limb from limb, and eats it.
Nice. So it's got Tum Tum.
It's got a tum-tum because it's human shaped. And so also this is when we reveal that the plating on the Ava units is not to keep them safe. It is that they are so powerful that they have to be restrained. So here in Unit 1, I argue, we have finally reached the Venn diagram of a weapon that can love you. Many of our other categories have only been one or the other or a third thing. But what could be better than a mom robot who can also just blast the shit out of any enemy that might come your way?
I'm going to come in with the question I've asked almost every rider, if I acknowledge on my own. How's the parking?
It lives in Nerve, and it's human shaped, so it stands upright, and they have kind of like a docking station for it. So the assumption is that it lives at Nerve.
I'm gonna back Sarah up
one-
on this. It does have the most stylish and convenient parking technically, because it literally has a whole base built around making sure it has a space.
Okay. That's fair. I have thoughts, but also a very good point of it. There is a designated space, but I can't take it to Mickey D's and park it.
I would love to see a McDonald's commercial with Ava Unit 1
I think
getting a thing of fries.
Mom, can we go to McDonald's? We have McDonald's at home. the best version of that. But what if you want to put it somewhere that isn't the base? Thank you, Axel. Question. I still think this is very much a sick ride. If you're going to show off at the car show, this is a way to show the frick up.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
That was
Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I'm very well aware, Sarah, of the capabilities of Ava Unit 1. I think the one thing that holds it back from being a ride per se is the idea that it needs that energy umbilical cord, at least in non-sicko mode.
Yes. So Sam is correct that the Ava does, it usually has a cord that connects it to nerve, which gives it its energy. And then once it's off that cord, it has 5 minutes before it shuts down. Because if you couldn't tell, there's a lot of maternal imagery going on here. So it's literally like its umbilical cord. And also the pilot inside is in a chamber that's filled with fluid that smells like blood. So like there's just like a lot of like maternal imagery going on here. I could go on about it for literally hours, but
what's
I
it
won't.
called? In the insert tube?
Oh my gosh, what's it called? It looks like a tampon. The pilot,
the fuel insert fuel thing, or like one of the little sticks you put in people. Oh no, that's another reason why I don't want those sticks inside me. There's a little man in there.
Entry plug.
I literally if you could watch, if you're seeing this stream right now, I literally Googled Ava tube.
Why? Don't Google that! Don't Google that! Put it on stream.
I did also Google Ava pilot tube, so.
Well, no, I literally have just tubing. It's literally just like a plastic tube.
This is so dangerous.
What entry plug? What's it called?
Entry plug.
Don't just Google entry plug. Put Ava in front of it.
Okay, it does look like a tampon.
It does.
My wife famously recorded me once asking me how a tampon works, and I was holding it, and I was trying to figure out. Neither here nor there. Continue.
That's bold of you to admit on stream.
It is bold to do it on stream. I can see that the design does look like Pacific Urban went to a rave. I can see it. I do think the design, it's very sleek, it's very cool. I've seen a cool thing where he's running
color
down
combo also.
Very much.
Iconic color combo, the purple, green, orange. Like whenever I see that, I'm like, that's Ava Unit 1.
I'm aware how a tampon works. I just want to drive that. It was an endearing moment that we shared where we just found we love each other. I love my wife so much. I know that sounds like I'm making this.
No,
get me out of here, please.
We believe. I'm gonna grab the Axel question backing me up in the chat saying I understand, Sam. They get you.
Thank you.
I think this is a great ride. It is it's very much a good wholesome choice. I don't think it's S tier for a few reasons. One, you gotta get wet to get in it. Two, that probably ruined someone's camera. A little boy got in there and said, "Oh no, my camera!" as the fluid went up in there. That ruined.
Well, he should have never been out. That was Kensuke, and he should have never been out.
I'm just talking about if I want to go with my phone out on a nice, sweet joyride, take some Instagram lives. You can't unless you have a life-proof case.
My major objection to this one as well, even though I actually think it's very cool, and when it's working, when you're in sync with your Ava. Especially if you're Shinji and you are inside Shinji's mother. When you're in sync, it's beautiful, apparently. I think the level of terror, aka an absolute terror field, I think the likelihood that something is gonna go bad fast is very high. So it makes it slightly unreliable ride.
If they could change it so it's laser tag, imagine being a bunch of giant robots playing laser tag that are also filled with ghosts.
What a happier show it would be.
S tier ride.
The poll is up, but I want to know what we think.
Please plug in your numbers,
Sarah.
I know that I'm the only one that thinks it's S tier. I know that, and I truly appreciate that other people like the criticisms about it that earlier I think Axolotl said that's like saying I have a garage so my Ford pickup truck is easy to park. Like I get it. And you can't live inside it, and if you're inside it probably bad things are happening, but just like it's iconic. Like I said, it's the Venn diagram of an incredibly effective weapon and also something that can love you.
I'm gonna love you.
And then just like aesthetically, just like look at this, read, scoot, look at that, like just it's just so cool. Yeah, I was being rude to you.
I
but
think
it's okay.
Nerding
It's
Hour
okay.
tried to vote one number, but then voted a second number.
I thought you could vote 2 numbers because I had 2 feelings.
No.
I don't think you can. I
Oh,
think
well, then my first number went through, which was a 3. So we're fine.
Oh, you've just revealed yourself, Reed.
I do not care.
I care not for the rules of this
I
company.
care not.
We
I am the nerding hour.
We threw out the rule book for this one.
We did. Listen, this is just a merry time to have between friends in the audience who are also our friends. Us and our 17 friends who we don't know the names of, nor do we know our faces. Axel, a question. I just say put a 1 in there, see if it happens. Just put the number 1 in there to see if it goes. I don't know. We'll see if it happens. I don't know if you can change it. Apparently, Super Dang Simulator also got you back for you. It is indeed an interesting back and forth. Seeing what happens and what's going on. I think
this is
actually the most split I've seen the chat be on. There's a vote in every number.
These numbers are going out of control, just like when Ava Unit 1 went out of control and ate that other robot.
Yeah.
Hey,
God, that's just the coolest moment.
It's a cool
sometimes moment. You just need a robot that'll kill another robot.
All right. I think we have to shut down the poll here. So
3
people, yeah.
1 and the most divisive mom robot yet.
We have a tie. So in the spread of our votes, it's between S and B.
My do we have B?
Do we have room in B?
Yes,
we do. Room in B. We also have it
can live with Kirara.
Yeah, I think B is good. Also, since S is naked and Hal was between S and A, do we want to retroactively bump up the movie?
Well, I think we have a lightning round, right? We
sure.
We do.
One of our fan suggestions could be an S tier.
Okay, cool.
With the rule with the lightning round, I don't think I defer to you guys and the audience on this one, because originally I thought the lightning round was gonna be a fun little thing we could put them anywhere. But if we're sticking to the original rule of there can only be 2,
well then we
have to put an S and D.
Yeah, I think we should. I think for the lightning round, no rules, fun. Just right. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of again a really quick breakdown. Would you like me to take on the audience submissions, then you guys give a plug for yours, or do you guys want to take the lion's share? How you feeling? How you doing?
Wait, so are we putting these? Are we not putting them on our tier list?
We are putting them on our tier list. That is correct.
I think.
But this is go ahead.
I honestly think we should just go one by one and just put them up for. We should talk about them very briefly and then put them up for a quick vote. That's my idea.
Sounds the plan. All right, so here's the lightning round. Our audience members and we've had some that kind of overflowed in the big general discussion. So we're going to be talking about these a lot quicker, a lot faster, a lot snappier, and the votes are going to go by a lot quicker. So have your fingers on those dials and make sure your vote counts. So I'm seeing the first in lineup is the Mach 5 from Speed Racer.
Yes.
Which I have to agree is a classic, iconic ride. It is the ride of all rides. It has so many buttons and things. If I recall correctly, it can jump over rivers, it can jump over ponds. The rider in the original show is kind of a sociopath when you look about it, but this isn't about him. He doesn't come with the car. That car is shifted from show to show to show. So clearly, rider don't come with the car.
However, you could check the trunk, and you might find a spare child or a monkey in there at any given time.
Quite possible.
It has been a long time since I've seen the show. I do think its iconic status bumps it up from my previous viewpoint of simply it is a car from the Red Line discussion. Like the Mach 5 is just like so choice.
Also, it does have little feet so it can jump over obstacles and things. It can jump over a river. I've seen it do it. I've seen it do it.
Legit too, the Mach 5 is like it is like the classic supercar. Its lines have actually inspired a lot of like real life cars and so you can't overstate it. Also, I just imagine that its sound system and the tunes that it's gonna bump are off the chain.
Yeah. True enough. Also, to answer a lot of questions, yes, it is the Batman utility belt of cars, and no, it is not. This one is not just a car. It's got other things in it. It's got lots of buttons. It's got coins. It's got monkeys. It's got children.
It's got kids.
It's got kids in it. You want a kid? It's got a kid in it. Are we slamming this into the chat?
We're slamming it into the chat.
Take it and slam it into the 7-Eleven parking lot.
All right,
let's do it.
I personally think that Mach 5 is definitely A tier. We got.
I'm also gonna have to agree.
Justice for Mach 5.
No holds bars. There are no rules here. Do what thou wilt, chat. destroy, maim, do what you're gonna do.
I want to see a clean suit. No! Who put it in D? What's happening?
VBG657. Also, sweet name. All right, so y'all have 4, 3.
Wait.
2. Oh, but no, it's lightning round, Sam.
It's
It's
lightning. Okay.
2. And I think we cut it.
It's A tier.
It's A tier.
you
Pop that
go.
in the A tier.
Woo!
All right. Up next is the Nimbus from Dragon Ball and also Dragon Ball Z. It is a literal cloud that a child and then later a man can ride. I think it goes at a because he grows up and he still continues riding the goddamn cloud. Speed, I believe he rides it across a country. Also, I think he uses it to ride on top of a heaven snake at some point. Just saying. Very much magic, very much whimsy.
Love
like-
whimsy.
Love whimsy. But I think it only can do one person, which I think is
Yeah.
kind of a drawback for me personally.
Because I think other writers, my Dragon Ball lore knowledge is a little rusty, but I do think that
Mhm.
there was a quest involved in which Goku earned this Nimbus. So it's like
Oh,
it really is a ride just for Goku.
Okay.
But he often, it's very famous though too in the Dragon Ball Z opening because Goku's riding on it as a grown man. It's kind of this sweet moment. It's like he's still riding the cloud, and then his like little son pops up over his shoulder and they go flying
Aw.
through the clouds. It's very,
okay.
it's like, but that's the last time Gohan will ever be happy around his father. Watch the rest of Dragon
Ooh,
Ball Z for more.
That's a whole nother tier list of shit dads is coming up next month.
Shit, dad tier list.
We
would
should
be
have done that
great.
for Father's Day. That would
We
have
should.
been
Oh no,
We
no,
can
no, no.
always-
we should do shit dads and dead anime moms.
Yes, shit parents.
Yeah. All right. Why is it yellow? Because it's always a horizon.
The poll
I don't
started.
know. I don't know why it's yellow, Takara Ni. I honestly don't.
Wow, somebody came right out the gate with an S tier vote.
It is a nice little cloud. It is a lovely little cloud.
Lovely little cloud.
It's a lovely little cloud.
All right.
Nothing wrong with a lovely little cloud.
I just like,
So
people are hot on the trail.
what is it going to the bottom? I don't understand your question.
Which is
Was it going to
basically
the
just
bottom?
like basically like is something going to end up in D tier? I think.
Are we gonna be
That's a
shoving?
very good question. Is anything good? Do we have to make it that something has to go to D tier?
Something will go to D tier, probably.
Something will go to D tier and something will go to S tier. If it's in A tier, there's a chance it could get promoted. If it's in C tier,
It's
there's
just
chance
a
it could get
cloud,
demoted.
though. But ask a lot of questions.
It's a cloud you can stand on.
It's just a cloud, though.
All right. Do all rides get a trophy? Yes, all rides get a trophy.
Wow.
Oh, it's just ask a lot of questions coming here with no mercy. Are we counting down, Sam?
Yeah, we're gonna start counting down. Reed, go ahead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a cut.
Wow, we got a B and a C tier tie.
Ooh.
For Nimbus, the frickin' Nimbus. B and C tier tie. So what? I guess it's up to us.
I don't know.
I think like if we're getting into it, it's like the whimsy component is great, but it's like there's nothing to protect you on it. Yes, it's like bound to him, but like there's no like interpersonal relationship. Like it can't keep you safe. There's no weapons. You couldn't live in it. Like ultimately, this is like a bird scooter in the sky.
That's probably the fucking harshest burn this stream.
It's a bird scooter.
It's a bird
Pop that baby
scooter.
down to C tier.
Yeah, we're in
that's
C
what I
tier.
say.
Frankly, I'd
We're in
put
C
it.
tier.
The more I think about it, I would put it in D if I could. But
Well,
Yeah.
we might eventually. All right, now here it
Okay.
comes.
The most controversial ride that has been spammed on me and has been rioted and said if it doesn't appear, I get shunned. Rock Lee's legs. Now, some people could say, is this a ride? Technically, yes, it does transport a single person and you can ride on his back. And we've already gone Kirara, who you can ride on her back. I'm not done.
I'm about to do a dangerous Google search and just go Rock Lee's legs, and we're just.
I did, and that's how I got
like,
this picture.
truly, what
In
is
addition,
that? What is this?
In addition, it can hold hundreds of pounds of weight. It is what has also carried. People have joked Rock Lee carrying the Naruto series. This is indeed. It's a joke. It's a meme, but it's a meme that's crawled its way into my heart, and now it lives there.
gymnast Suni Lee is also.
He
in
is
this search.
indeed very much a capable boy. You
Does
can ride
he
on his
run
back.
fast? What is this?
He
Like-
does run fast. He does.
What
he,
is
li-
this?
Yes. To answer your question, Sarah. To
I'm
answer your
famously
question,
not a
yes.
Naruto queen.
So there is a famous scene where he is trying to beat the Chunin exam. Spoilers for the Chunin exam arc. And he's having trouble beating, I believe it's Gaara, the sand ninja, who is a sociopath and has killed many, many people. And so he goes, all right, I'm doing my best. And his sensei goes, Rock Lee, remove the weights. He goes, are you sure you said to only do that in emergencies? He goes, this is an exception. Do it. He stands on top of a statue, pulls off his weights, drops them. 2 mushroom clouds appear. And then he moves basically Sonic fast.
Okay.
Okay.
I have
So
an
this is a
image
joke-
of what I think is Meow Meow from the Cartoon Network show with giant.
Put that away.
with
No,
giant
put that
thighs.
away. Sam, no.
I also have this picture of Rock Lee looking very sensitive.
Rock Lee
This
is very
came up in
sensitive.
the Rock Lee legs Google search, but here's actually what we're talking about, folks. This is Rock Lee.
No, Sam, no.
Axolotl
No.
says I would not like to be piggybacked on someone moving that fast, and frankly, I agree. It sounds unpleasant.
I
That's-
actually think I'd put Rock Lee up there with Kirara as far as magical rides are concerned. I mean, Rock Lee's a man who I hope his conviction rubs off on me as
Please
as
pop
the
the chokehold
friction
in the chat.
as the friction between my inner thighs and his back become one. You know, I really think that I could get some of that, power that he possesses.
You think you could just osmosis it through him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand this is a meme, and I appreciate the variety of
The poll
what
is
we consider
live,
in
by
a
the way.
ride.
Thank God. Okay,
But
I
if
don't
we
see
have-
it in stream.
But if we have said it's just a car, it's just a cloud, we cannot leave without being like, this is a pair of impressive legs, but ultimately legs.
These are just legs. So
He had legs, the
There-
ones
there's
that go all the way down to the floor.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, I
Uh,
am seeing seeing something. I'm seeing a lot of people having a lot of choices.
There's a lot of choices being made.
There
in
are
the chat.
Very
Many
stratified.
choices.
Very stratified.
I am enjoying this. I'm enjoying the chaos. I feel like this is what the Rock Lee fandom boys wanted.
It's not a
Uh,
ride.
I mean, if Sam's mildly bisexual side has told us anything.
It's
Moderately. That's what it was. It was moderate.
Moderately, thank you. I read mildly up from Axolotl question. If Sam's moderately bisexual side. Oh, well,
Yes.
technically
All right.
Axolotls.
End the
Sam, you're reading in
Axolotls.
Axolotls. Moderately. I
end the
can't
outlet.
read.
end the poll. End the poll. It's lightning
Please
round.
do.
We have
I
more.
can't read. I can't
Yes,
read.
we have so much. We have so much more to get to. Moderate and
We
not
do.
moderate alike, and we've landed firmly in the D tier.
We've gotten something in the D tier. And
Yeah.
I
There
would like
we
to
go.
say, not because Rock Lee isn't a fantastical, wonderful, super special boy. It's that technically he is the lowest ranking.
You know, I want to say
rides.
this. I know one of our fans nominated Rock Lee for this.
Yes.
I will say this: in the PWI 500 for the top 500 wrestlers in the world, there's only 2 positions that matter: number 1 and number 500. So, which ones are you going to see on this list? You're going to see Rock Lee prominently in our list. So,
That was
congratulations.
very astute.
I'm gonna stand by. There's to our Rock Lee fans. There's gonna be a tier list where Rock Lee's gonna sort at the top, but he is always and foremost an underdog. This is his story on the SDS channel. One day he'll hit S tier.
Before we
Yeah.
get to, I actually want to shift things around a little bit. I want to just
Also, if you
get.
could shift the tier a little, it's a little off.
Oh, what's off?
Yeah, the tier listing is a little off.
Oh my
on
god.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can't see. We can't see
can't
the
see.
We can't
letters.
see
Sorry to
anything.
interrupt you.
No,
We can see the Nimbus and the Mock.
I'm gonna see. We're gonna see everything in a second. Okay, so I actually want to move it around and just talk about these Dragon Jets really quick.
Yes,
I-
because I believe they're next.
Yes. So here's what we're doing. This is from Dragon Pilot. You can watch it on Netflix. I just want to set some context. They are literally dragons in disguise. They're like Transformers, but if they were dragons. And if they ate you and you piloted them from the inside of their bodies and had an odd but endearing psychic connection with these dragons. Is it a fan fiction that Sam wrote in high school? No, it's real, and it's called Dragon Pilot. So these dragons are jets. They are refueling planes, and they are also friendly, cute as hell dragons. Go ahead. Reed.
I love this. Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead. Reed.
also love this. Hi, Reed Seitz from Super Dating Simulator.
Yes, go ahead.
Important question. Do they eat normal things?
Yes, they actually they eat food. Like they eat like meats and other sorts of pet stuff. I actually have some pictures of these adorable. Oh my gosh, I actually need to get that model kit.
Oh!
That is so cute because they all have these big doe eyes. And look at this guy. Look at this little chonkers. I'm just gonna show a picture.
I
of the
think
chonkers.
I'm gonna have to reference Sarah before we've hit the machine, but
that's
can
what-
also love you.
That's what I was gonna say, is that I posited Unit 2 as like 2/3 of the Venn diagram, but this is all 3 magical,
Yeah.
Yeah,
capable
and-
of love.
Oh,
mechanical.
chunky boy!
Look at this look at this chunky
my
boy
gosh.
riding this battleship. He's so happy to be
I
there.
have to say to Seraphia Maurer, I actually have not watched this. I need to, but I understand not being able to get past the vor. That it is
the
technically
four.
Technically, that's
but
what it is.
It's not sexual. It's actually also very funny in that like you either get puked or pooped out, but like in a cute way.
Yeah, I love
like
this.
in a
This-
Furby
this-
way.
This hits all of the
All the
categories for
quadrants?
me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look at now. Look at that
Also,
face.
sorry.
Look at this cute little doe-eyed. Ah.
Launch the chat. I mean, launch the poll, my good
Launch the-
sir. Launch it.
All right, we're launching. I
Mm.
think
No.
if we're gonna crush S tier, send the dragon some Dragon Pilot in there. These are.
I also have to
adorable
apologize
dragons.
to Axolotl Question. I feel like literally we keep almost enticing him to watch anime, and then we say an extra thing, and he goes, "I have to leave," and then leaves. Because it's very funny to watch him in chat go like, "Oh, this is an anime." No, because I know him. He hasn't watched many anime in his life. But yes, please vote. It
These
is
are-
very weird, but
These are
Look at
weird
them.
but adorable
look at his
dragons
little
that you can ride
face.
inside and be
the best
best
of all
friends with.
worlds.
He can show you the world shining, shimmering, splendid, but not in a weird sexual way.
No,
In a very normal and cool way.
You just
I
you,
can
you
show
gotta
you. Send in the dragons, baby. Let's do this.
Here they be dragons. Also, it's also a jet, so you can go real fast. Also, it's a
Chunk-
dragon, so this way you land and say, "All right, dragon, I'm gonna go
Chunky
shopping," and the
jet
dragon goes, "Okay,"
Dragons,
And the
chunky
dragon-
jet dragons.
flies away.
I
I'm
like
saying
that-
parking is good. The parking's good on this bad boy. He drop you off, you go somewhere else to go do dragon things.
I can show you the chunks. It turns out they are dragons. You can be swallowed and ride inside them, but they're still really cool.
All right, I'm gonna say we can.
Cut it down. Cut it down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it. Cut the boy. Cut the cord.
S tier.
We have an S tier. They're affable, they're cute, they're robotic. Axolotl Question, I'm gonna get you to watch an anime, and perhaps with this quiz that's coming up after our next two choices. I think we can ramp it up. I think we can go even faster. Let's go.
The
I'm
next
excited.
up
I'm
is
pumped.
the jolly.
Going Mary.
Going Mary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we get an image of the Going Mary?
Of course. we
Yes,
can.
give me a second. I'll get it. Continue talking about the Going Mary while I get the Going Mary.
Everyone's saying that, like, where's Appa? You could have submitted in our social media. So reflect on that.
Yeah, that is actually the very good point of like
We
no
were
one...
we were fielding suggestions. He could have been here. Anyways.
It's a lot of these are audience submitted suggestions. That's our lightning round. I
Okay,
have the Going
so
Mary.
this
S
is the
trees on
Going-
it.
This is for the Going Mary. This is from the show One Piece, which famously has a lot of episodes. Sam was very vulnerable on this stream. And so now I'm going to be vulnerable on this stream, which is that I have seen exactly one episode of One Piece. In high school, a guy I really wanted to date was really into it. And he was like, you have to watch this anime. There's this episode about this pirate ship and it's really sad. And I was like, I want to date you. I'm going to watch this episode of anime. And it didn't work, which is the most traumatic part of this, is that I watched an episode of One Piece for nothing. But what I do remember is those little pirates were just crazy about this ship. They loved this thing. So it must be pretty good at doing something, I guess.
You don't know about the ride and you submitted it?
No, I was just like, it's iconic. It has a little lamb. Going Mary is a very whimsical name. I love the lamb head. And there was a whole episode about like something bad happens to it, or like they lost it. And like, So clearly it's important to someone.
I wanna get a video of Sarah describing One Piece arcs with no knowledge. We'll just
knowledge.
We'll just present her pictures of the characters that are in the arc, and then we go, Sarah, what happened?
The little boy in the straw hat really digs this boat.
I think you're forgetting something very important. I haven't watched a lot of One Piece, but I've watched someone make a model of this ship and then make a model like little cove. They got orange trees on it.
Asks a
Got
lot of
orange
questions.
trees
that.
on it.
Asks a lot of questions. Says defo just a boat.
Slow, only useful in water. Even that yellow car could beat this, as we've established.
Okay, you know what? Let's roll right in.
Let's run the poll. Let's run it.
I really have no emotional investment in this, so
I don't either, which makes this a very rare anime-based show.
Now I feel like I have to enjoy this little boat.
Oh my God.
Do I think that it's the sweetest anime ride? I mean,
wait a minute.
if we're on water, yeah. What else do we got that can go in water?
God.
I mean, the staff from the Owl House. Kirara can fly over water.
I thought we just completely lost our tier list, so thank God that didn't happen.
I bet the yellow car can't go in. We've covered Florida Man Gamer that it's made of friendship, and friendship can go in water.
The Avas do get put onto boats, and in the episode that you just watched, Reed, Unit 2 famously fights underwater. So,
but it wasn't supposed to.
Okay,
it does do it.
In.
Unit 2 could rock the Going Merry.
We'll get the votes in. We are going massively overtime. We're going to get the votes
yes. Otherwise, all right.
Down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and cut it. All right.
I can't believe D tier.
D tier.
Rockley's legs are just as prominent as the Go Merry from One Piece.
Absolutely.
We're going to get torn asunder.
I'd say that Rock Lee could beat up the Going Merry in a fight. I'm just going to say it. Because he's a ninja, and though he doesn't have any of the cool shape-shifting powers, he literally kicks ass. It's amazing.
Sarah, don't call it a comeback, but we have our final pick, which is
this was also an audience submission.
Yeah, this one wasn't even me. This one, Ava Unit 2. This is I know we're running low on time, but so this is the Ava that belongs to pilot Asuka Langley Soryu, without going into the whole backstory of it. So this is a later production Ava model. So like they made it Unit 1 and then they were able to improve some stuff for Unit 2. If we're talking about just pilots, Asuka, incredible vibes, best girl, a vote for Unit 2 is a vote for girl boss energy. So
I'm gonna have to disagree because if we're voting on the ride. Or does she come with it? Does she come with the unit?
No,
does she have to come with the unit?
No, well, other people do famously pilot Unit 2. I can't tell you who because I want you to see it, but other people will. But like, I mean, anything that's the same thing about Unit 1 minus the specifics to Shinji's mom applies to Unit 2. Really, like, yeah,
fair enough. If you don't,
do you like red more than purple?
If you like the sporty model as opposed to the purple model, give it a vote.
I also think that Ava Unit 2 in the movies has, and even the remakes, has some of the cooler, like, big pro wrestling moments. As a craft. So
I will say that in End of Evangelion, there is a scene where Asuka is fighting a bunch of mass-produced Avas, which we'll get into later. More or less, she is like outnumbered like 30-1. And she has this scene where she connects with her mom's spirit inside me. And she says, I realize now that you were protecting me all along. And I cry every single time.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We're going to just slam that poll.
Launch the poll. I'm not going to say it because I feel like it's a grievous spoiler. And I'm not going to say it because, listen, sometimes things in animes you just cannot say blank face unless you had the workup. Yeah. And that's hitting me right now because I'm like, okay, this sounds silly. But I also know, if y'all haven't seen the Made in the Abyss movie, you should. After you've seen Made in the Abyss. Because here's the thing. I can't talk about this movie without it sounding silly. But when you watch the movie, you're like, oh, that's terrible. And you'll be cursed just as I am because you can't talk about it without it sounding stupid.
Carry the curse with you, the curse of the Abyss. And we're about to carry the curse of the tier list because, Reed, we got to count it down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut it, Samuel.
It is canon that Ava Unit 2 is superior to Ava Unit 1.
Okay.
So this lands in A tier.
Dawn Party, hit up my DMs, by the way. Hit up my DMs.
All right. Honestly, here it is, everyone. We have our tier list. This is it. The final word. No refunds.
No refunds. It is done.
Reading
Oh, this did
from
not
the
crack
bottom to the top. In D tier, we have Rock Lee's legs and the Go Berry from One Piece. Then in C tier, we have the Aloha Oe from Space Dandy, JP's Custom Trans Am from Redline, and Goku's Nimbus Cloud from Dragon Ball. B tier, we have Kirara from Inuyasha and Eva Unit 1 from Evangelion. Tier A, we have Howl's Moving Castle, Albert from Owl House, the frickin' Mach 5 from Speed Racer, Ava Unit 2 from Evangelion, and our sole S tier, which has made my heart grow 5 sizes, is the lead dragon from Dragon Pilot. Look at this chunky little
Look at
dragon.
these good boys.
Incredible.
Good
I
boys.
don't think any of us saw this coming.
No. But little did you know, now in the next room we're releasing them all into Coliseums to make them fight each other.
There's a funny thing about Dragon Pilot being S tier in that it is a combination of multiple things. A, magic, dragons. B, you're literally internally piloting something from the inside.
Is it squishy?
Like the Avas. 3, it also is like your best friend, like a Kurara. And 4, it can still turn into like a mechanical design, like the stuff that I was pushing from JP's Trans Am, because it can be a jet. So it literally encompasses everything we love about transport and anime.
It's perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Now I'd like to take shift, grab the reins. Sam, Sarah, are you ready to get some homework?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right,
Ready.
so ladies and gentlemen, as you know, I was given an assignment by myself, but reinforced by Sam and Sarah, to watch Neon
You got it. Stick the landing. Last time.
Genesis Evangelion, which I've watched part of it on Netflix. So now it is my turn to give Sarah and Sam animes that they must watch that I've greatly adored, or at least enjoyed part of. Now, this is going to be done in a BuzzFeed-style quiz. I'll be posting the quiz on our Instagram. Why is this my voice? I don't know. And on Facebook for you to follow along as well to figure out what animes you should be watching.
Ooh.
So, Sam, we're starting with you.
Okay.
We're going to start with, what would be your horror movie choice between these two? Tucker and Dale versus Evil and Halloween Town is a nice double feature, sort of a horror comedy vibe, family friendly. Or sort of a Cabin in the Woods dark vibe, follow up with maybe a little bit of like a classic horror element. The two movies being Tucker and Dale versus Evil or Cabin in the Woods. If you want it to be more of a in niche, a horror comedy, or something that's a bit on the darker side, but does also kind of look at the very fun classic horror movie tropes.
Yeah, I saw Cabin in the Woods in an altered state years ago, and it really affected me at the time. Freaked me out. I think Tucker and Dale versus Evil was pretty fun, so I'm probably gonna go with the comedy horror route.
Okay. Now, in your anime, do you feel like watching a man versus the world or a man versus man sort of situation?
Oh, probably man versus the world, just in general in anime.
Yeah, in general, like in what kind of show do you want it to be, like a man versus the world, or do you want like there to be a man and a clear antagonist?
Oh, probably man and clear antagonist, because then there's a dynamic there.
What texture do you like better, bamboo or silk?
Silk.
All right, silk. Now, one of these options in the silk tier has been eliminated because you've already seen it. So the anime that you've been assigned is Lupin the Third.
All right. Now which version of Lupin the Third?
The one that's on Netflix.
Okay, great. Okay.
So Lupin the Third, for those of you who don't know, I do not have an image with me, unfortunately. It is a very classic, I believe it came out like back in the day sort of anime, where it is about Lupin the Third, who is a grand master thief with his friends and cohorts doing daring scams and schemes all across the world, being followed by a very dastardly and, really beaten down detective who keeps trying to catch Lupin the Third and failing, but also other things have to go up against. For example, they have to help the Loch Ness Monster in an episode. So enjoy that.
Oh my god.
Yeah!
Okay.
There's an episode where they have to help the Loch Ness Monster. Which episode is it? I won't say, but it'll be obvious when you get there. because they'll be in Scotland for some reason. All right.
All right, Lupin the
Sarah, are
Third.
you
That's
ready?
my assignment.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
so
that's your
excited.
assignment. Okay. So between horror movie choices, would you watch Tucker and Dale versus Evil or some other horror comedy? Or Cabin in the Woods, something dark, but it kind of has sort of the genre deep
Horror
into its head.
comedy, horror comedy. I'm
Fair
a big,
enough.
big coward.
Would you like a Man versus the World in your anime or a Man versus Man, a clear antagonist to go against?
I like Man versus the World. I like
All
bigger
right.
picture themes.
Your assignment is The Disastrous Life of Psyche K.
Ooh, okay. I've seen images of that.
So the anime, The Disastrous Life for Psyche K, and yes, I did make this. I'll be putting it in a much more nice format. This is my chicken scratch handwriting. It'll be probably put together by Lucid Chart. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K, you follow Psyche K, a psychic, not only any psychic, a god tier psychic, who has to wear these funny little antennas to hold back his psychic powers. He is a man who wants one thing and one thing only, to not be the main character of an anime. But unfortunately, he's the main character of an anime. He wants to go home and watch his show and
I love
nothing
this.
else. But they will not let him because his friends want to be friends for some reason.
Oh my god,
Also-
so great.
They explain why certain anime things are because his psychic powers are so great. So why in anime do people have weird colored hair like blue and pink and stuff? Because of his psychic powers.
Amazing, amazing. Is this also on Netflix?
It is also on Netflix.
Nice, easy peasy.
Easy peasy. So I'll say your assignments, you watch at the very least the first 8 episodes, same as I have. And
Perfect.
then next month, I would love to hear your thoughts, or at the very least, just tell me on the socials. Tell me, because we're actual friends in real life.
Yeah.
Those are your assignments, and I will continue watching Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I actually think all 3 of us have access to our Instagram accounts. So if we want to post like just little blurbs and stories as we're watching things, like
yeah.
just quick little like, okay, episode 4, but what the hell, or whatever. And so watch our Instagram stories, because we're gonna have all 3 of us just shouting things out. It'd be great.
Hell yeah. And if you guys want to take this quiz at home because you're like, well, I want to watch Cabin in the Woods, I'll be posting up that quiz tomorrow for you to take it yourself. And you can see the list of animes. To give you I'm not going to tell you the list of animes. You got to look at our Instagram post for me
let
to
it be a
tell you what the
surprise.
anime's on.
Yeah.
So if you're not following us on Super Dang Simio on Instagram, what are you doing? Follow us right now. Go do it.
Do it
anyway,
now.
Sam, go do it right now.
Well, I'm
Love
going to just
you.
take us home, because just like these rides, depending on what you want to jump inside, squeeze inside, be eaten by, or just get your dude with the ripped legs, we're done. This has been
We're done.
probably our longest talk show, but I think indicative of maybe the future of Super Dating Simulator. We're going to be doing just more content like this. Thank you so much, Reed, for being our host, for being an incredible quiz master as well near the end here. And we'll see you next month, 4 Thursdays, only on our Twitch channel. And follow us, for more information about what we're going to be doing next. And I think most of our super fans in here already do. So we bid you adieu. Donate to Pack Dash Theater on Venmo. Give them some love. And stay tuned. There's some bigger changes coming with Super Dating Simulator. Love you guys. And remember, anime, love, and video games are real. We'll see you next time.